And that's been my point. We do all this awareness program, that's part of our job. And I just feel like we're not getting to the people that we need to get to. Because the people who show up are the people who already have that social conscience about them. But maybe I also see it as though, well, yeah, that's true, but maybe they can talk to other people and kind of spread the word. And if you affect one person, then it's worthwhile. Sure.
Okay, well, statistics show that a lot of you guys are west. Maybe not in Fort Collins, but in cities, in bigger places, that it's mental health people who are the most likely to get injured or the most likely to get arrested. How do you guys, I guess, handle it to a point that you don't become one of the statistics? Because I do particularly like it here.
So a lot of it is very situational. Yeah, obviously if we've got someone, like posting up in the middle of the plaza and he's holding a knife and he's, yelling crazy stuff, but he's, there and he's isolated, yeah, we're do our best to separate.
Good.
Like Laura said over there, we have other tools so that we can use so that we don't have to shoot him. If we have the ability to use less lethal options, yeah, we're going to do everything we can.
I still feel like the way they communicate with people with visible disabilities is the way people communicated 20 years ago. Because they perceive us as a vulnerable population that needs to be taken care of.
I can specifically think of one interaction that I've had with the police, and this was in Texas, so very different community. Framing that right there. But I was instantly assumed to be on cocaine because I was having a muscle spasm because I was I was anxious, I was pulled over in a different state. But something that I found, but as soon as I said that I had cerebral palsy, the conversation changed and I was no longer an equal in his mind where I was, granted I did like that I was no longer a threat in his mind. It was just you could very visibly see where I was no longer this person who was competent to understand what was going on with, was getting a warning, and I did get a ticket, thank you. Didn't get a ticket. But, it was you could very clearly see that there was a big disconnect between hearing the word, I have a physical disability, and thinking that I then no longer can understand what is going on with the situation. I no longer am competent to be driving. He had to go confirm my story with my able-bodied partner in the passenger seat in order to make sure that I wasn't lying and that I understood what was going on. I think that there does need to be some more awareness of that. Disability in itself is a huge spectrum, and then within those specific disabilities, you can see with Michael, Terry, and I, we all have the same disability, but it looks extremely different for all of us, and that it's a very different experience.
So I'll use an analogy. So maybe two people are speeding. One person's only going 8 miles over the speed limit and they get a warning. The other one's going 16 miles over the speed limit and they get a ticket because the severity is great, right? Kind of that same concept comes into play at some of the party stuff of how extreme is it? How unreasonable is it? How out of control is it? Another thing that comes into play is once we get there, of what other things do we see? If it ends up just being the noise, like you're describing it, if there's no underage drinking, or there's no vandalism of property, and none of that other kind of stuff is going on, it's just the noise, then the chances of a warning being issued are a little bit greater than if those other types of behaviors are also. And then lastly, a big factor is the cooperation of the people once we get there. If we get a lot of cooperation and in terms of people coming to the door and taking responsibility, hey, I live here so we can talk to who lives there, and I'll clear up this party, and if all that goes well, that helps too.